So Putin made some comments the other day that raised eyebrows quite a bit. So here's what they say in the Daily Mail. Putin's deranged Hiroshima threat. Russian leader tells Macron the 1945 atom bomb is proof, quote, you don't have to launch a nuclear strike on a major city to win a war. Huh? So, of course, that's a reference to the United States nuking Hiroshima and Nagasaki at the end of World War II. And, you know, historically, there's a great video by Sean on YouTube that goes into all the specifics. And the gist of it is the U.S. didn't need to nuke Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It was basically a show of force to send a message to the Soviet Union that, hey, we're the boss now. And don't even think about trying to compete with us effectively. And the Japanese were trying to surrender for a while. And we ignored it and nuked the shit out of them. So Putin's sort of bringing that up. But look at the phrasing. And this is what people are pointing to as kind of yikesy. You don't have to launch a nuclear strike on a major city to win a war. On a major city. So the implication is like, maybe we do it not on a major city. Maybe we do it over the Black Sea. Maybe we do it over a rural area in eastern Ukraine. But you don't have to do it on a major city. Okay, all right. Yikes. Here's what they say. Russian leader Vladimir Putin has alarmed Western leaders by referencing the nuclear attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in a conversation with French President Emmanuel Macron. Diplomatic sources have said. According to the sources, Putin expressed the view that the bombings, which triggered the Japanese surrender and the end of the Second World War, demonstrated that you don't need to attack the major cities in order to win. The United States detonated 2 atomic bombs, killing between 129,000 and 226,000 people, most of whom were civilians. That's crazy. People don't really sit on that fact and digest it, especially if you're American. That certainly don't teach about it in school the way it should be taught about. 129,000 to 226,000, probably over 95% civilians. And we just casually did it. I mean, that's some fucking ISIS, Al-Qaeda level type shit. Just like massacring hundreds of... Al-Qaeda wishes they could aspire to what the U.S. did. The reported remarks come amid growing concern that the Russian leader could be prepared to use a tactical nuclear weapon in Ukraine, where Russian forces have suffered increasing setbacks in the conflict. A source said Macron was distinctly alarmed. It sounded like a very heavy hint that Putin might detonate a tactical nuclear weapon in the east of Ukraine, while leaving Kyiv intact. Ugh. That appeared to be the thrust of his remarks. A French government source told this newspaper, the two presidents have undoubtedly discussed the risk of nuclear weapons use. Putin wants to get the message across that all options are on the table in line with Russian doctrine relating to nuclear weapons. This newspaper revealed last week that during the final days of her time in Downing Street, Liz Truss became increasingly concerned that Putin might use a battlefield nuclear weapon in Ukraine, to the extent that she became fixated with the weather forecast in case the wind blew a radioactive cloud over the UK. Jesus. Ms. Truss had been told by the intelligence agencies that Putin might explode a weapon in the air above the Black Sea, which would show the West what he was capable of without triggering a full-scale nuclear war. Oh, man. Ugh. I don't like where this is going. So look, we discussed yesterday that the United States is now prodding Zelensky to negotiate with Putin, but the U.S. also goes on to admit that, look, we're kind of doing this for like PR reasons, because we want the allies to present a united front. We want everybody to sort of understand that, yeah, there's going to be problems with grain and fuel and inflation and all these issues, but hey, we're the good guys, and that's why we're going to kind of sort of not really negotiate. We're going to have conversations. And again, they're doing it for like PR and marketing reasons, but the fact of the matter is they really need to actually have those conversations. Because when the risks are nuclear war, I mean, that's a game changer. It's a whole new ball game when you look at that as a potential reality. And so obviously this sort of made Macron made his jaw drop, and he's sounding the alarm a little bit. The other thing that's scaring me is there's been a number of instances now where various countries are telling whatever people from whatever civilians are there, like, hey, leave. I don't know. I think China did it and Iran did it. Some others did it like, hey, for all of our citizens who are in Ukraine, might want to get the fuck out of that shit. So there's a little bit of that going on, which leads to the question, well, what do they know? Why are they evacuating? Not good. Not good, man. Let's hope that we can actually find a way out. We can find an off-ramp, and we can bring about peace. Look, it might be the case. I don't know this for sure. Nobody does. But it might be the case that this war has taken such a toll on Russia and such a toll on Putin, and that it's been so much harder than he expected, that he actually would, if you just give him a little bit of a face-saving thing, like a little bit of an off-ramp, he'll take it in a heartbeat. It's possible. I hope that's the case. And then I hope there are reasonable, good faith negotiations that can avert a further crisis. But of course, it's always an option, as we always talk about the potential here, that you do some sort of peace deal, and then he just agrees to it in principle, and then fucking ignores it. In which case, everybody's going to be like, should have never talked to begin with. This is Neville Chamberlain shit. This is appeasement. And both of those options are possible. But again, when the stakes are nuclear war, you have no other option but to try to give peace a chance. And if it falls apart, it falls apart. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But right now, that's what you have to do. Because now, again, our own intelligence officials, 25% chance of nuclear war, 25% chance. This is psycho stuff, man. So let's find a way out. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.